Ryan Reynolds here for, I guess, my 100th Mint commercial. No, don't. I mean, honestly, when I started this, I thought I only have to do like 4 of these. I mean, it's unlimited premium wireless for $15 a month. How are there still people paying 2 or 3 times that much? I'm sorry, I shouldn't be victim blaming here. Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch. Whenever you're ready.
$45 upfront payment equivalent to $15 per month. New customers on first 3-month plan only. Taxes and fees extra. Speed slower above 40 gigabytes. See details.
We acknowledge the traditional owners of country throughout Australia and recognise their continuing connection to land, waters and culture. We pay our respects to their elders past, present and emerging. Welcome to This Song Is Yours, a music podcast where we chat to a new guest each week, talk about their life and creative endeavours, and talk to them about some of the music they love. Our show works by chatting to our guests about music, but also getting them to make you a playlist of the songs they love. You can find a link to our playlist in the show notes. Welcome to episode 101. I'm your host, Simon Fink. Our guest today is biblemami. The bedroom pop star from Canberra, Australia, is releasing her debut EP today, entitled Unpleasant Adolescent. In today's episode, we're speaking with biblemami about the brand new EP, working with Thomas Porter, and how the Belgium music scene compares to home. Here we go. Our guest today is a bedroom pop star from Canberra, Australia. After releasing her hit single Bunny earlier this year, she's releasing her debut EP today, entitled Unpleasant Adolescent. Please welcome to This Song Is Yours, biblemami. Hello, how are we?
Hi, I'm good, thanks. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. It's a very exciting day for yourself as we do have a debut EP out today.
Yeah, it's been years in the making, so feeling pretty good, pretty nervous though.
Of course, the EP Unpleasant Adolescent, I feel like I have to ask before we get to the actual content of the music, are you classifying yourself as an unpleasant adolescent, or is it yes?
I'm a menace to my parents and to society. No, but I was quite unpleasant in the way that I was, very moody, very teen angsty, and it's also kind of like the adolescence itself is a bit unpleasant, like the experience.
Yes, the experience of being an adolescent at times can be unpleasant in certain degrees, I guess. So it is an incredible EP, and I know that you just said that you've been working on it for a while. The songs on the EP, I believe at least 1 or 2 of them were produced by Thomas Porter, who is also a Due Process family member. How did that collaboration kind of come about? And
Well, our A&R set us up together. He was just like, I think you guys will get along. And I was like, okay, why not? And so we showed up to the session and I saw him and I was like, this guy looks like a clown. But we started talking and we started working together and we just got along so well. It's like, no offense to Thomas, but he is young at heart. He is like such a silly little man. Oh my God, I'm just here insulting him. Not really. I love him. I love him so much. But yeah, we got along really well and we had such a good energy musically. And so as soon as we wrote, Bunny was the first song that we wrote together. We wrote that within like a few hours of our first session. And then I was like, I need to work with this guy again. Like I texted my A&R and I was like, Thomas is the best. He's the best guy ever. Like, let's get these sessions rolling. And so, yeah, we've been good buddies and working together ever since.
That's very cool. We have had Thomas on the podcast, and I do mean it as a compliment. He does have the personality of, I don't want to say a clown because I feel like I'm maybe not close enough to do that. But I feel that he comes across as quite a lovable character. So
exactly. He's just like, he's like a golden retriever, but as a human.
That's a good compliment. I think that's a very good compliment. I know that you just said that you guys wrote Bunny together. with the track, I believe you've been quoted as saying that it's kind of like a mix of fairy tale. What was it? I've got it written down somewhere.
Alice in Wonderland?
Yes, like a childish fairy tale mixed with the darker, I guess, parts of being a teenager or being a teenage girl. Do you remember what originally kind of set off the catalyst for writing a song like this?
Yeah, I mean, throughout my entire kind of schooling, I went to all-girls school when I was in primary school, and oh my gosh, I was torn to shreds. I was torn to shreds by these 8-year-olds, by these 9-year-olds. I mean, like, I was the same age. It's not like children are hating on me now, I don't think. But I got bullied a lot. And then I mean, for various things, for like being a lesbian, all of that kind of stuff. Like, I just got a ton of hate, and I experienced that all through my like high school, early teenage years as well. And I just kind of thought, I hate all of these like bitchy chicks. I'm going to write a song about how it's like, how I'm going to get past it. I have to pick myself back up. I have to move on. Like I have to fall down the rabbit hole and keep going, pretty much.
It's an incredible track, and when listening to it on the radio and hearing it on streaming services, it has this kind of confidence that I feel like does not. I was surprised to find out how old you actually are, because I believe you've just recently turned 18 or about to turn.
Yeah,
18?
I turned 18 like a couple of weeks ago. So
happy birthday for a few weeks ago.
Thank you.
But there is a confidence in Bunny and the rest of the EP that is, I found quite surprising. Was that always kind of evident in your songwriting, that you found that you were just very self-assured with what you were writing?
Yeah, I think that initially it came about as sort of, I was quite insecure and I wasn't very confident. And so I kind of took the biblemami persona and I made it, I used to say like, biblemami is me but cooler. Like, she's a cooler extension of myself. She's all of the cool, confident, swagged out parts of me. So I think that part of it is just kind of like playing a character or kind of communicating certain aspects of my personality that are heightened. But as I've gotten older, especially like 17, 18, I feel like the confidence is more authentic. It's just coming from myself, and yeah.
No, I can definitely understand that. I imagine that the more that you're almost like using that persona to get these feelings, thoughts, everything else across, that the more you do it, the more it is going to feel more natural, and you almost kind of blur the lines almost between the persona and yourself.
Yeah. One day I'll just have no idea where biblemami stops and where I begin. Well, I mean, that's kind of now. Like, it's not one day, it's like a year ago.
Have you found that now that you're releasing music and doing all these things, that do people kind of, I guess, what's the word I'm looking for? Have you found that people do treat you differently as an alt pop star?
I mean, a little bit. I think that, for example, at school, I go to like a public college. There's thousands of kids. Nobody really cares. But I'd say that like people who have like seen my Instagram, or they've seen that I've, supported all day, or they think that I'm like kind like cool or whatever, especially like a lot of younger teenage girls, is that like back before lockdown, is that I'd have girls coming up to me in the Canberra Centre, which is like in the city, and they'd be like, you're biblemami. And I was like, I am? Okay. But yeah, I feel like it's just weird. It's like I would never go up to myself or think that like I'm someone interesting. So having people do that it's really cool. So but yeah, it's good. It's mostly good, different treatment. Nothing too harassment-y.
That's good. That's what we want to hear. It is, yeah, I can imagine, well, for some of those like young girls, that it is cool to have just like someone to look up to, like an Australian musician who is a little bit like not different, but like in terms of like some of the imagery that I know that you've used is like a little bit darker, a little bit more alternative. So it's kind of cool to have like those, I guess, idols for those young girls.
Yeah, I try and be my like the best influence I can be. I made so many bad decisions when I was a younger teenager, and gosh, probably even now I'm making 1 billion bad decisions a week. But I try and be like, don't date older guys until you're an adult. Like they're gonna be dodgy, and just like don't go off doing a bunch of drugs in a park somewhere. That's never gonna end well. But just like, I don't know, trying to be as good of a role model as I can be without being like insincere.
My dad works in B2B marketing. He came by my school for career day and said he was a big ROAS man. Then he told everyone how much he loved calculating his return on ad spend. My friends still laugh at me to this day.
Not everyone gets B2B, but with LinkedIn, you'll be able to reach people who do. Get $100 credit on your next ad campaign. Go to linkedin.com/results to claim your credit. That's linkedin.com/results. Terms and conditions apply. LinkedIn, the place to be, to be.
If there's one thing that my family and friends know me for, it's being an amazing gift giver. I owe it all to Celebrations Passport from 1-800-Flowers.com, my one-stop shopping site that has amazing gifts for every occasion. With Celebrations Passport, I get free shipping on thousands of amazing gifts. And the more gifts I give, the more perks and rewards I earn. To learn more and take your gift giving to the next level, visit 1-800-Flowers.com/ACAST. That's 1-800-Flowers.com/ACAST.
No, of course. I can respect that. That's very cool. From my understanding, you've been in Canberra for a few years now, and you originally are from Canberra, but there was a bit of time spent overseas in Belgium. Was there much of a music scene there for someone your age? And like, are there any differences or any similarities between the Australian scene and the Belgium scene?
I mean, I wasn't really. There is a scene in Belgium. I'd say that there's a lot of there's insane rappers, and there's a lot of great electronic music and great electronic producers. But as far as what I was doing, there wasn't really a super established scene. And but the good thing about Belgium is that, well, most of Europe is you can just catch a train, and in 3 hours you're in London or you're in Paris, and it costs you like $20. So I had the opportunity where my mum would like go on a trip with me. We drive over to Paris, and I had some friends in the more like alt pop kind of that sort of scene over there, which was super amazing. And like telling people in Australia, being like, oh yeah, like I went to Paris to do stuff. They're like, oh my God, you went to Paris? And I'm like, my mum drove me. Like it didn't take very long. But yeah, it's quite different in Australia. But I think that I love the Australian music scene, especially Triple J, and kind of the atmosphere that they have for young musicians, and that allows so many artists to break out and not have to have a bunch of money or well-connected parents or any of that stuff. They just have to have talent and work harder, I think. Well, that's a bit idealized, but I think that it's a lot more common in Australia to see real breakout artists.
100%. I think that it's one thing. Sometimes we are, like too far away from other countries for bands to tour or for certain things to happen. But one, I do 100% agree with you on that point, is that especially with Triple J and a few other areas that like are really good in launching just unestablished acts to be able to give them that platform.
Yeah, exactly. And a lot of the music journalism here in Australia, it's stuff that you actually want to read, like Tone Deaf and The Brag and all of that. It's like you want to go and have a look and see who they're writing about and who the newest artist that they're talking about is, because 9 out of 10 times, like, that artist is just dope. So
is it not the same over in Europe? Have you found any, like, that it was less informative or less on the money?
I felt like it was, I don't know, maybe it's a cultural thing, because I feel in my soul that I'm quite Australian. I'm Australian at heart, is that it was a lot less fun and it was a lot less down to earth. A lot of the stuff that you'd read would just be like, here is a video of this artist rapping. They are from Excel. Enjoy. And you just kind of think, oh, okay. And you don't feel as close, you know, you don't feel like that's an artist that you could go to a show and then grab a beer with afterwards. You just kind of feel a bit more distance. I don't know if I'm explaining it in a way that makes sense, but that's my best explanation.
Yeah, I can definitely understand that. I feel that Australia, and it probably is because we are a very lucky country and spoiled in certain ways, that we're able to I think people who work in those industries in Australia are really passionate about it and want to put their all and, you know, like a bit of character to it, whereas possibly overseas it might just be like it's a job. It, you know, keeps the light on.
Yeah.
Maybe less love almost.
I think that every country, every continent, there is so many great things and great artists. But yeah, Australia is just, there's something special. It's like a little thing, you know?
Yeah, I get that. The name itself, biblemami, I'm very curious. Firstly, I feel like as someone who's over 30, I have to really focus on pronouncing it right, because I feel like I'm going to embarrass myself in front of young people. Firstly, am I pronouncing it right when I say biblemami, or is it mammy?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, you can kind of do whatever. I'd say that, like, it's like the word mommy is like, it's that like sound. But honestly, I've heard Bible mammy, Bible mommy, Bible mommy. Like, I've just grown to accept all of them.
Okay, that's cool. I'm glad that you're open to the interpretations of different names. Where did the name itself come from?
So basically, when I went to like all girls primary school, it was a Christian school, and my parents aren't particularly religious, but something about me when I was like 8 or something, going to all girls Christian school, I just got there, like went to my first chapel and was like, I believe in God now. I'm a Christian now, wholeheartedly. Like, I love God. I don't know where it came from, but like in the time that I was at that school, I became just a genuine, like, believing Christian. And it carried over even after I moved to Brussels and I was at like a secular international school. And my 2 best friends, they were both like, they'd make fun of me for it. They'd be like, oh, well, you love God, or all of this stuff. And even as I kind of fell away from like religious practices and being a Christian, it was just kind of like a part of my upbringing and something that I really liked to engage with, especially because of all the Christian iconography and Christian art, and a lot of stuff from the Renaissance, and just there's so much cool stuff, and it just kind of became a part of my character and personality. And so I wanted, when I was like on the SoundCloud scene, you'd have like the male rappers who were like Lil Xan, Lil whatever, and I was thinking, like, what's a female version of that? And I noticed that there were some girls doing like the like Flex Mommy, Hot Cheeto Mommy, stuff like that, and I was like, yeah, this is working. This will be good. And I was like, 13 or 14, and then it just kind of stuck. And I think it's a fun name. So yeah.
It definitely is, firstly, a unique name. I think it's a very cool name, and I feel that it almost weirdly covers like your sound and imagery quite well. Like it kind of encapsulates it all in a really good way, and I might not have deducted all those things that you've just said myself simply from the name. I'm glad that you were able to kind of like break it down for us. But yeah, the music does have like almost like a bit of a SoundCloud element to it. When you were sitting down with Thomas and kind of writing the EP, was there any thought of how this would translate into like a live show if you were to tour it at some point?
To be honest, not really. It's like we were just kind of on a creative wave, and we were just kind of writing. But I do know that whenever I'm writing a song, especially with Bunny and another song on the EP, Man Eater, which is also produced by Thomas, is that in my mind I kind of have an image of what it's like colors and not like synesthesia or anything, but I just have an idea of the vibes and the atmosphere. So I think that I've considered like live show outfits that would look that would remind me of different songs. But as far as actually like playing shows, I don't know. I'll have to think about that. You've put that idea into my mind. I think I should consider that some more.
Okay, that's cool. We'll wait and come back to us at another stage with that one. I think my favourite track off the EP, but look, I do like Bunny and it is catchy as all hell, but I think my other favourite track is Death Support, which I'm curious, after you've said that it kind of, these songs have colours or tones, not synesthesia as you said, but like what kind of colour or tone does this song have for you? Because I felt that while it still sounds like your music, it does sound different from the other three tracks.
Yeah, I'd say that Death Support is definitely dark greys, dark maroon, burgundy reds, and black, I'd say. And then also like white. I'd say that all of that kind of comes through quite well in the music video. I made like a PowerPoint presentation for my team, basically being like, here are the vibes of Death Support. And I downloaded hundreds of images from Pinterest and had like all of the vibes solidly concentrated. But yeah, it's like very dark kind of... I was going to say sneaky. That's not right at all. Not sneaky, but like dark, toned down, and brooding. Brooding. Oh yeah. And
nice.
then a bit of red, which because there's lots of mentions of red in the song, and that's kind of like, I mean, that's a no-brainer. If you're going to be like red on his lips, it's gonna be red. Sorry.
Of course. Sometimes the most simplest stuff, it's right there, of course.
It's like behind the lyrics, red. It's red.
The shortest episode ever behind the lyrics.
Yes.
We would usually chat to our guests about what they're currently listening to. Is there anything currently on either your record player or streaming service, whichever you prefer to use, that's getting a good workout?
Yeah, I have been really, really, really into Danny Brown, the rapper, lately. He has a great song that's just come out with Dorian Electra, and it is an insane electronic song, and I'm obsessed with it. I've also been listening to, in terms of Australian music, because I stay listening to Australian music. The Ryans, who won Triple J Unearthed High, they are insane, amazing. They're the same age as me. So I was like, I could be these guys' friends. And they make incredible music. And then Nina Geraci, she just released a new song. And it's so catchy. It's like, 140, foot on the gas. Anyway, it's fantastic. So I've been enjoying all that lately.
I feel like that's like kind of a varied, like you've covered a little bit of ground genre-wise with those picks.
Yeah, I listen to like pretty much everything. I mean, I know that everyone listens to everything, but yeah, I'm a rap head, but I also I love Australian Indian punk, and then I love pop music. So
I think that these days, and we've discussed it with like a few guests, is that the really awesome thing about kind of living in this time period of 2020 or 2021, whatever, is that there are no real set genres anymore. Like people aren't just metalheads or like indie or whatever. Like you can listen to Danny Brown and then listen to like a singer-songwriter and then listen to like, God, I don't know, Celtic folk or whatever it may be. And like it's all kind of cool. So
listening to sea shanties, putting them on the playlist, putting some brown noise 8-hour loopable, and then Danny Brown, of course. Putting some Denzel Curry on there, just spicing it up, you know.
If you can bookend it with Danny Brown, I'm very cool with that. That sounds good.
Yes.
Bible Mummy, thank you again for coming onto the podcast, and congratulations again on the EP, which is out today. We look forward to seeing more from you in the future.
Thank you. Thanks so much for having me and to listening to me ramble for like 5 minutes straight for every question.
And that's our show. A massive thank you to Bible Mummy for her time. Unpleasant Adolescent is out now, and we've left links in the show notes if you'd like to stream the EP. We also want to give a huge shout out to Shari, a Great Company Collective, for helping out with today's interview. You can find a link to our Spotify playlist in the show notes, where you'll be able to listen to all of our guests' picks. If you like this show, please subscribe wherever you get your pods and stay up to date when new episodes are released. We release new shows each Thursday and Friday morning, with guest playlists streaming on Spotify at the same time. You can follow the playlist profile on Spotify, and you can follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. Until next week, cheers.
Imagine the softest sheets you've ever felt. Now imagine them getting even softer over time. That's what you'll feel with Boll & Branch's best-selling signature sheets in 100% organic cotton. In a recent customer survey, 96% replied that Boll & Branch sheets get softer with every wash. Start getting your best night's sleep in sheets that get softer and softer for years to come. Try their sheets with a 30-night guarantee. Plus, get 15% off your first order at bollandbranch.com, code BUTTERY. Exclusions apply. See site for details.